Before I start this video, hit that pause button, go down into the comments section, and let me know, or let our community know, if you would like to share what your first kiss was, or what your first kiss with your significant other was. And at the end of the video, I'll tell you my story on my first kiss with my significant other, right after I get done telling you about Vegeta and Bulma's first kiss.
Know your place, worm. Prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
I stumbled onto this Dragon Ball fan manga by complete accident. I promise you it was by accident, but the title was catchy. It said Dragon Ball Z Bulma and Vegeta First Kiss, and I thought it was going to be a comic strip, but it turns out this is a full-fledged fan-made manga. It's got 3 chapters and it's continuing in November with additional chapters, so this is an ongoing series. And I gotta say, I really like the direction they took here because there is a lot of realism and a lot of backstory here in that time period between Trunks' arrival and he warns the Z fighters of the androids, and when the androids actually arrive. We get to see how the relationship between Bulma and Vegeta blooms, and it actually works. It actually makes sense. It feels realistic. It does not feel forced in any way, and that's one of the things that I appreciated the most about this Dragon Ball fan manga. The manga starts out with the gravity chamber breaking and Vegeta talking to Dr. Briefs about fixing it. Now, Dr. Briefs is also making him some high-tech armor, or trying to replicate the material that was used in the armor that the Frieza Force had. So he's also doing these things for Vegeta. Vegeta's crashing at Bulma's place. It's very much how we left it right before the time skip. Bulma and Yamcha are still together, and Vegeta likes to clown on Yamcha, which, I mean, he's basically just joining the rest of the world on this one. But as time passes, and we can tell time passed because Bulma's hair is different, Bulma and Yamcha's relationship is a little bit rocky. Yamcha seems to have a lot of groupies and a lot of girls that he's talking to, and he's letting them hit on him, and he seems to be hitting on them back, and Bulma's worried about this because she doesn't want to be played with. And the way that they write Bulma in this Dragon Ball fan manga, it's like they took the spirit of what Bulma is in the anime and they put it on these pages, because she is so headstrong, determined, so full of herself, and so confident. All these emotions, the way she talks, everything builds into one package of making this Bulma 100% believable as a character. And that's one of the main things that's really hard about making Dragon Ball fan mangas, or any fan mangas, with characters that already exist in other mangas or anime, is trying to bring the essence of what makes that character, putting them in unique situations that you're making up, and have it feel believable. And they've done it with Bulma here. She is very much a firecracker here. She's definitely got the spirit of the Bulma we see in Dragon Ball Super, but definitely the youth, the energy, the excitement, the playfulness, the flirtiness that we've seen back in the early Dragon Ball Z days, or mid Dragon Ball Z days. And we see her relationship with Vegeta start to grow in a realistic way, because Vegeta is basically on his own in this house. He's doing things on his own. He's basically a loner, and Bulma keeps trying to get in. She keeps making comments about Vegeta having more depth than he's showing, being more than meets the eye, and she goes out of her way to be nice to him. I mean, at one point, he's looking for food, he's trying to find something to eat, but there are no groceries in the house because they have not gone grocery shopping in a while. And then Bulma decides to make him some food, and he actually thanks her for it. He's actually being nice and considerate, but in a realistic way. He's still very much a loner. He's being a dick to Yamcha, but it seems like he realizes that he is staying at her place and he is being respectful about it. And I like that they took this approach with Vegeta instead of him being a complete dick all the time to Bulma. Now, he is a dick to Bulma throughout this chapter, but not in a way like he is to Yamcha. He's completely off the rails here on Yamcha. So with Bulma having her problems with Yamcha, her dad asks her for her help because she's got so much free time now in fixing the gravity chamber, working on Vegeta's armor, all the projects that he's got going around the house. And at first, of course, she's like, you know, I need my own life, but at the same time, she's a genius, so she's intrigued on doing it. And this pushes her full throttle into working on the machines, on her science, on fixing Vegeta's crap. And at some point in time, it seems like Yamcha may have fucked up and the relationship has split apart. They had broken up and Yamcha is kind of chasing after her a little bit because now he's on the offense. He's trying to get her back. He's trying to win her back. So on one rainy night, he comes to her house. He calls her on the phone from outside, but she really can't hear anything that's going on because she's in the middle of working. She thinks he's a telemarketer, so she hangs up on him. And Vegeta's coming back from training. Now, Vegeta's still doing his own Vegeta thing. Even though he's being very standoffish and quiet around Bulma, when he's on his own, he's 100% that Dragon Ball Z Vegeta. He's got this chip on his shoulder that he needs to surpass Goku. He needs to become stronger, and he's the only one that has not become a Super Saiyan. So he's still training even though the gravity chamber has not been fixed yet. And at this point now, he arrives at the house at the same time that Yamcha's at the house, and he confronts Yamcha with insults, berates him, calls him a loser, calls him pitiful, pathetic, and Yamcha claps back. Yamcha's like, you know, you're the only one that's not a Super Saiyan. And so they want to fight right outside of Bulma's house, and this could only end one way, and the way that you're thinking is gonna end, with Yamcha attacking Vegeta being far faster than Yamcha could even hope to match. And then at one point, Vegeta's like, you know what, I can just kill you and be done with it, and he raises a blast. Yamcha doesn't think he's gonna do it because he doesn't think that Vegeta still has it in him to destroy him, let alone the collateral damage that the city would take from the blast. But Vegeta lets off that blast. Huge explosion comes up. Bulma and her dad rush outside to see what's going on, and they find that Yamcha's still alive. Vegeta actually just destroyed Yamcha's car, which is hilarious to me because Yamcha finds out later on he's all pissed off because that's the wagon that he's been getting all these girls on. And so Yamcha runs off with his tail between his legs, and this leads to Bulma trying to take care of Vegeta's wounds because Vegeta has been out training. He's all messed up, and to Vegeta's reluctance, Bulma takes care of his injuries, but at the same time she's kind of reeling him in like she's fishing because she wants to get closer to him. She sits right next to him. Vegeta does not like people around him, did not like people touching him, but she's telling him about these drones that her father built and that she can perfect so that he can train with them. And these are the same ones that we saw him use in Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z. So I like that they added this in there, and she's kind of reeling him in, his attention in, with those drones. And it really seems in this chapter, this is chapter 3 by the way, that Bulma really is into Vegeta. And she even at the end says, wow, was I really that into Vegeta? Because at one point she's talking to him and then she starts blushing, and then she goes, oh, you know, you finally started to notice my beauty, and here I thought this entire time that you were gay, kind of trying to get a rise out of him, which she does. Vegeta flips out, goes back to jerk mode, and Bulma goes on the defensive. She's like, you know what, you're being a jerk to me, you're not getting any of the hints, I'm not gonna help you out anymore, I'm not gonna fix your gravity chamber, I'm not gonna fix the droids up, and I'm not gonna make your armor. So she's upset. She's like, if you're not nice to me, I'm not doing these things for you. And then she grabs him and kisses him, and that is Vegeta's first kiss to Bulma, and it could be his first kiss in general, I don't know. And the one thing that I find the best in this scene is the fact that it's not Vegeta trying to kiss Bulma, which is what a lot of these fan artists kind of get wrong, and some of these short clips of them going at it kind of get wrong. The first kiss would 100% be Bulma, and it even shows in these 3 chapters how it was building up to this point that she was going to be putting the moves on him at first. And so she kisses him first, and then she goes, what, you never had a kiss before? Don't stare at me like that. And he's like, of course, I'm just wondering why you would do that. Why would you risk that? Basically, Vegeta still sees himself as this huge badass that can destroy planets and that he's extremely dangerous. He's a bad guy. He still sees himself this way. But Bulma's like, of course you can destroy the planet. You can hurt me at any moment, but I don't think you will. And this is where she teases him even further. In all honesty, you can do whatever you want to me and I couldn't stop you. And at this point is where we get this hilarious panel where he's looking into her beautiful eyes. He's looking down at her lips, and he looks down at her, you know. She has caught him. Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans, has been caught by an Earth girl, and it's just beautiful the way that this is set up. Because then Vegeta, who could very well do the things that she's saying, responds with, "Don't be absurd. I would never do anything like that." Complete and utter gentleman. Obviously, she was just kidding. She was just trying to tease him. She walks away. And the last clip is Vegeta thinking to himself, what am I going to do with this girl? What am I going to do about the situation? This is by far one of my favorite Dragon Ball fan mangas that has to do with more of an intimate side, not more action, not a lot of action really, but more personal stories. It just feels really right. And to me, this is the definitive version of their first kiss and their blossoming love. And I love how the creators took so much care into making these characters work and make the situation realistic. And I cannot wait for the next chapter. Anyway, guys, I told you I'd let you know what was my first kiss with my significant other. Well, that's my wife. Yes, I am married, to the shock of most of you. I'm not a 15-year-old kid. I'm much older than that. And the first time that I had my first kiss with my wife is when she showed me her Dragon Ball manga collection, and she had a couple other mangas in that collection as well. But I picked her up, gave her a big hug, spun her around, and that was our first kiss. This is going to be Blackscape. Signing off. Take care, guys.